The title of this book is Entertainment. It doesn't have an author. It has 63 pages. I wanted to learn about people in the entertainment. Well, it doesn't have like a setting or a plot. It just tells us more about like Whoopi Goldberg or Bill Cosby. When iSpy was canceled, Bill began a new show about a physical education teacher at Los Angeles High School named The Bill Cosby Show. The story took place in a lower middle class neighborhood. The show was well watched during the first year, but viewers dropped off in the second year. In 1972, Bill returned to television and tells stories about the people in his childhood in a cartoon show titled Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. He released several very popular comedy albums and appeared in such as films as The Devil and Max Devlin and Uptown Saturday Night. He also appeared in many television commercials. I think people who will like this book is people who like entertainment.
The title of this book is Astronomy. The author is Dan Green. There are 128 pages. I chose this book because I like nonfiction and I like learning about space. A black hole is a hole in the fabric of space. This secretive character hides by giving off no light radiation. Only stars heavier than 3 suns form black holes. Born out of the wreckage of a dying superstar, I am silent and deadly. My black heart forms when the core of a massive star collapses. Such powerful gravity, I destroy matter itself, shattering neutrons into subatomic particles until I shrink to a tiny point. Black holes are black because even light cannot escape from our deadly grasp. We warp space-time around us. I think people who like this book are people who like nonfiction and space.
The book I'm reading is Big Nate from the Top by Lincoln Pierce. The number of pages are 233. The characters, well, I'm just going to do different stuff. The characters are Nate, Francis, and Teddy. The settings are his house, middle school, and outside. Why I chose this book is because when I read the first series, Big Nate Strikes Back, I wanted to find out if there are more books just like this. Well, there was, and it's this one. It's coming to be better than the first one I read. It's about Nate's whole life in middle school and outside of middle school and his summer break. I'm going to read a page. I'm on the last page of it. How did you dolts come up with such a good topic? You didn't even crack a book. Easy, Teddy's dad is a Civil War buff. He's been telling me about all the different battles since I was a baby. He built models of Civil War battlefields in our basement. I could write a report on the Battle of Silahoi in my sleep, which is why I chose him as my partner. Right, and wait, what? Relax, dude. We'll put your name first on the title page. Who would enjoy this book is whoever likes a fun and funny book. And I hope you go out and buy this book or go to your library after school.
The title of my book is Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, and the author is Jeff Kinney. There's 214 pages in the book. I chose this book because I have read The Ugly Truth and Cabin Fever. Why I chose this book is because Grayson suggested it and said it was in the library, so I looked at the back of the book and read a little bit. The characters are Greg, Manny, Rowley's parents, and Roderick, and Greg's parents. The story takes place at Greg's house and his school, and Rowley's house, and the public pool, and the beach, and the country. This book is about Greg having a boring summer and having to do everything his family wants to do only. Then his best friend Rowley and him go to the country club that Rowley's family owns, and then Greg can't go anymore because they thought everything was free. Riley and Greg get into an argument and don't talk to each other for a while. Then Riley's parents invite Greg to the beach with them, but the place they stayed was 5 miles away from the beach, and Riley gets the whole bed at nighttime, and Greg ends up on the floor. I'm going to read page 160. Heather's going off to college next year, and those long-distance relationships never really seem to work out. We ran into the Jeffersons at the supermarket today. Me and Riley haven't spoken to each other in over a month, so it was kind of awkward. People who would enjoy this book is people who like drama and graphic novels.
The book I'm reading is Big Nate Out Loud, and the author is Lincoln Pierce. There are 223 pages in this book. I chose this book because a lot of people have told me that this is a very good book. The characters in the story are Nate, Francis, and Teddy. And the setting is at school, outside, and at Nate's house. The plot of this story is how Nate is having a lot of fun on summer vacation, but then school starts. I want to read a page. I still can't believe the other team had a scout report on me. So you keep saying? You know, it wouldn't surprise me if some pro scout had their eye on me. Pro scout, you're 11 years old. So take a look at that guy up there. Have you noticed he's at all your games? Have you seen the way he's always writing on that notepad? Dude, that's my Uncle Pedro. Oh, I think he's doing an acrostic. I think whoever likes the series or graphic novels would like this book.
I am reading Wayside School is Falling Down. The author is Louis Sacker. I chose this book because I read Sideways 3 from Wayside School, and Jana had the second book, which is Wayside School is Falling Down, and I'm looking forward to read the third one, which is Wayside School Gets a Little Stronger. It has 152 pages, and it takes place in, like, the classroom and, like, outside, but not a lot outside, and in the lunchroom, and, like, every class in the building, which is 30 classes, but there's not 30 stories, and this book is actually a book of stories. There's a lot of stories. Every picture that there is the beginning of a story. I'm going to read a story. Warning, do not read this. No, mush. This mush is the story. Warning, do not read the story right before eating. In fact, don't read it right before eating. In fact, just to be safe, do not read the story if you're ever planning to eat again. Miss Mush wiped her hands on her apron. She smiled at the children who were lined up at the cafeteria. It warmed her heart to see how much they liked her food. Martha was first in line. And what would you like today, Martha? Miss Mush asked. She knew the name of every child in Wayside School. Martha looked at the sign. Special today, mushroom surprise. Just milk, said Martha. I brought my lunch. Miss Mush smiled and gave Martha a carton of milk. Joe was next in line. And what would you like, Joe? Asked Miss Mush. Milk, said Joe. Miss Mush smiled and gave Joe a carton of milk. And what would you like, Jackson? Milk, please, said Jackson. Just milk, said Damien. Just milk, said DJ. Milk, said Lisa. It was almost Ron's turn. He hadn't brought a lunch. He normally brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school, but there hadn't been a single slice of bread in his house this morning. I I know, his mother had said. I'll give you some money and you can buy a nice hot lunch from Miss Mush. She thought it was a brilliant idea. Can't I just have peanut butter and jelly sandwich without bread? Ron had asked. Now he looked up at the sign. Special today, mushroom surprise. He wished he weren't so hungry. That was the 18th day in a row that this special was mushroom surprise. It was called mushroom surprise because it would have been a surprise if anybody had ever ordered it. No one ever did, except Louise. Of course, that's why they'd had it for 18 days. Days in a row. There was plenty left over. Milk, said Chercy. Milk, said Sarah. Milk, said Kevin. Milk, please, said Bibi. And what would you like today, Ron asked Miss Mush. Ron took a deep breath. Mushroom surprise, he squealed. Tears fell from Miss Mush's eyes. She blew her nose on her apron. Then she said, one mushroom surprise coming right up. Tears came from Ron's eyes, too, for a different reason. He looked at the mushroom surprise. It was sort of green. So was Ron. Miss Mush proudly drumbled a hot lump of mushroom surprise on a paper plate and handed it to Ron. He put it on his tray and pushed it over to the cash register, where he paid for it. The news quickly spread around the cafeteria, then up and down the stairs, then onto the playground. Ron ordered mushroom surprise. Ron ordered mushroom surprise. Miss Jules was sitting at the teacher's lounge on the 12th floor when Bibi burst in the room. All the teachers were shocked to see her. Bibi, you're not allowed in here, said Miss Jules. This place is secret. Ron ordered mushroom surprise. Bibi shouted, then ran back to the cafeteria as Ron sat down at the table. 87 kids crowded around him to watch him eat. I wonder what the surprise is, said Dee Dee. She had the best view. She was pushed right alongside Ron's chair. Maybe it tastes good, said Lisa. Maybe that's the surprise. No, I think it's called mushroom surprise, because after you eat it, it's a surprise if you don't die, said Matt. Lewis eats it. He's not dead, said Jackson. Lewis has been eating this mush food for so long he's immune to it, said Allison. Ron dug his plastic fork into the goop. He raised it to his mouth. Dana covered her eyes. I can't watch, she exclaimed. Ron opened his mouth wide. The fork entered. He brought the fork out again. It was empty. Ron chewed twice and swallowed. He ate it, said Dee Dee, announced for those who couldn't see. Stepson screamed. Said Ron. Not too bad. It sort of tastes like a mixture of bananas and spinach. What's the surprise, said Dee Dee. Ron looked at Dee Dee. His face flushed. His eyes changed colors. His whole body began to shake like a washing machine on a spin cycle. Dee Dee was afraid he was going to throw up. She tried to get away, but everyone crowded around. There was no room for her to move. But Ron didn't throw up. He stood up, put his arms around Dee Dee's neck, and kissed her smack on the lips. He sat back down. His eyes returned to their normal color. Yuck, said Dee Dee, wiping her mouth on her sleeve. What's the matter, asked Ron. Don't you know what you just did? Asked Allison. He shrugged. I ate mushroom surprise. It wasn't bad. Sort of a mixture of hot dog and grape jelly. I wonder what the surprise is. He dug his plastic fork back into the goop. Everybody ran away. But when Miss Jules entered the cafeteria, no one was there except Ron. He was sitting alone at a table, eating mushroom surprise. Miss Jules sat down next to him. Hi, Ron, she said. So how does it taste, and what's the surprise? Ron swallowed another mouthful. He looked at the teacher, his face flushed, and his eyes changed color. Someone that would like this book is is one that likes the Wait Side of School series and funny stuff and extremely gross stuff.